I didn't really do much of a review of the new suspension when I had it out at the track because I was more focused on riding. A couple of interesting things happened out there though. I scraped my toes a lot going through corners, even though I never once even got this feeler down on the ground, so that tells me my body position was not great. But I did notice that the handling obviously was much better. I could actually get on the throttle in the corners. The bike wasn't rolling around on me. It wasn't wallowing through the turns. It felt good. The thing I was really surprised with was the brakes. The front brakes, just from doing the suspension, the front brakes got so much better. I used to, if I got on the brakes hard, the ABS would kick in. I'd just overload the front tire. The suspension would completely compress. I'd basically be bottoming out just to get on the brakes. And then I'd end up with the ABS kicking in. And I was terrified of that happening on the track because the ABS on this bike is not good. It is a very slow cycling ABS. They make it very clear that it's no good for cornering. It's a straight line ABS. And I did not want the ABS kicking in while I was on my way into a corner and at the very least screwing up my line, if not just completely jarring the bike as I'm trying to lean it into a turn. So I was really happy that the brakes did their job well. They held up nicely. They never once were overloaded. I obviously could have been braking a lot harder than I thought I could. My mindset was still that the brakes on this bike are no good. So I didn't try very hard with the brakes. I'm going to work on that for this Sunday. So I've put the turn signals and everything and the mirrors all back on because I needed to take this out on the road and test ride it again. The weird thing that happened at the track was in my last session, it lost power. Everything was going great all day long. The bike felt fantastic. I was getting good drive out of the corners, as good a drive as you can out of such a small bike. But then in the last session, it was almost like the throttle, or the throttle sensor, because this is a ride-by-wire, there's no cable, it's all electronic. It was almost like it was stuck, or it wouldn't go past half throttle. I could get the bike to go up into the red line to get some power going and get ready to shift, but it was horrible. It took forever to get there. And going up the going up the hill from turn 1 to turn 3, I was 20 kilometers an hour slower than I had been all day. I used to be, or most of the day I'd be getting 135 or 140 going up that hill. And then in the last session, the bike would not go over 115 climbing that hill. So I don't know what happened there. I let the bike sit for a couple of days after the track day was over, put all the street legal stuff back on and took it out for a ride, and everything seemed fine. It seemed snappy, responsive. It was, if I opened the throttle all the way, it responded like the throttle was open all the way. So I have no idea what's going on there. I just hope it doesn't happen again. I used to want a rear cowling, a new rear, or the race cowling for this. Get rid of this seat that doesn't really look like a seat, but then I'd lose my ability to run the turn signals and the license plate and the tail light. What I've decided to do instead, because I felt like I wasn't able to move around a lot, there's a lot of padding on this seat. It's a wide seat. I'm just going to take the seat off, open it up, and take all the foam out. I don't need foam for the track day, and a new seat's pretty cheap. So I'll order a new seat to replace this one for when I want to ride on the road. But for the track, I'm just going to have a plain old plastic seat pan rather than a seat. Now if I can just find where that key goes, there we go. Just open this thing up. One moment. There we go. So I'd taken some of the stuff out of there. It was in the way. Didn't need it. So this is the bottom of the seat pan. It's just held on with staples like normal. The foam is clearly glued in. It's going to be messy to take it out, but I don't care. I might not even recover it. I might just leave it as plain plastic. I'm not sure. I'll know once I get this all off and start peeling back that foam. I did want rear sets. In fact, I've ordered some, but they're not going to be here in time. I'm going to the track again in a couple of days, and I won't be back there again until next year, I guess. That'll be probably the last track day for the season for me. So I'll have to make do with these foot pegs still. But if I carve down that seat, I'm hoping that will give me enough movement that I can move around on the bike, or enough freedom to move around on the bike a little bit more. So yeah, that's about it. I'll take the lights back off. I'll get the foam out of that seat pan, and then take it back to the track and hope it keeps power going the whole time. Not much else I can do with it other than that. Wish me luck. That was easier than I expected. Just popped out all the staples, used the screwdriver and the pliers. Cover comes off. Foam isn't even glued on. There's the seat pan. Obviously not very smooth, but I don't think it's really going to matter. I'll throw it on the bike and sit on it and see how it is. Hopefully I don't have to worry about putting anything on it. It's not grippy, but honestly this seat is so small anyway, I don't think it matters. There's barely room for me on it to begin with, so it's not like I have to worry about sliding off the back or something. Back on. That is on. Okay, let's see. That's fine. I can definitely go around the track like this. That's not gonna matter much to me. I got enough padding around here anyway. Black padding there won't matter one little bit for me. So that's good. That definitely drops me down quite a bit. Should open up my side-to-side mobility a lot. And yeah, well, I guess we'll see what happens. Get these lights back off and get it ready to go to the track.